Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Side Dish Podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Shin, joined as always by my co-host, Jay Lee.
Hey.
And today we have a very special guest. It's our friend Saul, who's back for the third time.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Saul's, if you know Saul from the podcast, he is a legendary character. He is in the Side Dish universe.
I am part of the universe.
He is. Yes. You could call him the Spider-Man of the Side Dish universe because he was one of the first movies to come out.
Certainly not. Yeah.
I mean, I guess the Iron Man would be more appropriate.
But I mean, I don't know. I feel like I play a smaller role.
Sure, you're an Ant-Man. But Saul is an educator. He's a longtime friend. He officiated my wedding, and he is back from Vietnam for a few weeks before he has to go back on a visa run. Welcome to the podcast, Saul.
Thanks for having me.
How's your New Year been, man? I don't know if you checked out our last week's episode, but we all talked at length about our New Year's.
I saw clips.
So you saw 9 seconds of the podcast.
Yes, I saw.
Last week's clips are also so funny because they're just like punchline-driven reels. No, because last week we talked about we had this exit survey we answered questions from, and some of the questions were kind of heavy.
Okay.
So. I mean, I could ask you some.
I'm here with zero context, so hell yeah. Give me the heaviest. Lay it on me, bro.
Okay, so
what is this?
I think maybe the headiest question, the one that we spent the most time talking about, was kind of difficult. So I'm going to ask you a different one, actually. I'm
okay with hardball, though.
What about the what version of yourself did you learn?
Yeah. So the question is, what parts of yourself did you get to meet this year?
There you go.
In 2024.
In 2024, what parts of yourself did you get to meet?
It's interesting because for me, that year bifurcates pre-dating and post-dating. So August was kind of like the inflection point for that year. So what parts of myself did I meet?
Is it because you're tempted to think, or you're conflicted whether you think about yourself dating or single Saul? Because I'm sure single Saul, there was parts of yourself that you met.
No,
there are probably kinks you discovered online.
Depression is actually supremely uninteresting. I was just not. I was like,
you were depressed. Yeah, I mean, I guess you were kind of down.
I was sort of depressed since my breakup in March of the previous year. So 2023 March up until August of 2024. So that's like that's almost a year and a half. In the moment, you don't really know that you're depressed, even though you have this sort of vague sense that maybe that word applies to me. Yeah. But you don't really feel like you're depressed. You're just
did you find yourself sleeping a lot in the day?
You sleep more, or you wake up and you get started and you have a good start, and then you're like, fuck, I want a nap right now. And then that nap turns into like 3 hours, and then you wake up and you feel shitty. Yeah. And you wake up. But this was just a repeating cycle from 2023 up until 2024. So I guess if I met a new part of myself, it's just, the happy Saul, that never went away. He's just somewhere there. And I'm actually happy again. And happiness for me because I think people who are meeting me in the last 2 years, they can't tell if I'm extroverted or introverted, and even I don't know anymore if I'm extroverted or introverted. Yeah. But happy Saul definitely contacts people more. Definitely just calls people way more.
Absolutely.
Although
sad Saul did make some phone calls too.
It was more willed.
Isn't that interesting? Because you'd think when you're sad, you reach out to people and hopefully they'll help you through it. But then when you're happy, that's when it kind of
that's far too rational. That's far too practical.
But it's a really good point. There was a book I read a few years ago that one of the key advices I took is when you're feeling down, just remember that help is always there. Help is all around you, basically. And I don't know how much I've really applied that advice, but I do think about it quite often and just an exercise of checking in on. First of all, checking in on someone isn't very hard either, which I need to get better at. Of just, hey, real quick welfare check, like how you doing, how's the new job, whatever it is, and it could be as simple as just a text through Instagram or whatever. I need to get better at that because when I receive those, it's always really reassuring and heartwarming.
Or check-in calls?
Just anytime an old voice kind of re-pops back into your life and just checks in on you is always a welcome thing. Is what I've learned as I get older, and I can do it to my friends too. There's nothing stopping me from messaging someone and just checking in on them. So
yeah, on the flip side, at least before August and before the sort of new or happier me, I just kept, it was weird, this dialogue I had in my head of does that person even like me anymore enough that if I call would they
like respond,
enjoy the fact that I'm re-engaging, you know? So that was like it's
you were spiraling.
What?
You were getting down on yourself.
I was spiraling at the speed.
It's so funny because we talked about that last week too. I told this to Jay earlier, but I was re-listening back to an old New Year's episode we had done on the first week of 2024, right? And so for our listeners out there, it's called "I Love My Life." It was published, I want to say, like the 14th of last year, but. On that episode, we were talking quite a bit about those things of spiraling and how the end of 2023 was. Sells on that episode was saying how happy she was because she had a good holiday break where she wasn't like down on herself. But then this year, re-listening back, I'm like, it's just interesting to see how people dismount the new year and enter a new one. You know, I feel like this current cycle, I was a lot more depressed and a lot more down in the holiday season than I was in 2023.
During the holiday season.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, like everything comes in waves, right? So just thinking about, but that topic of spiraling and like the voice in your head being kind of the unhealthy voice, because it's the voice that kind of wants to feed into that feeling. Which I don't know why the human brain is wired that way, but it definitely is. I don't think that we're naturally inclined to like make ourselves feel happy for whatever reason it is, right? So just remembering that that voice in your head is a fucking idiot because it's you. You know what I mean? So just don't listen to it. Like try to look at the external factors and look at the signals outside of your brain that are probably telling you things are a lot better than they are. But I'm glad that you got out of it. So you're saying the part of yourself you met this year was an older you that was happy, an older version, like reverting back to a happiness that you had before.
Yeah, well, just the fact that it actually isn't that hard for me to contact people again.
Yeah,
that's actually like turns out it's not that hard. And then it's also turns out it's not that hard to get myself out of my house on the regular.
Well, should we talk about your new relationship then? Because it sounds like
that was a big part of it.
Yeah, it sounds like she's motivated you to be active. And didn't you go to church?
Yeah, I went to church twice. That's true. Is that a new side of me?
No, it's not. It's definitely not a new side of you.
Hey, I'll give you a second. I'm processing that one.
But it's a new side of you for me because I met you after you had renounced God and
renounced. Yeah, well, it wasn't really renounced. It was just like, hey, let's take a break
from religion.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
not necessarily the God.
Oh no, I was kind of against Christianity.
I stand by my words. I think renounce is the right word here.
I renounced Jesus as the forgiver of all sins, and I renounced that whole idea.
It's pretty bad. Renouncing Jesus as the forgiver of our sins is the core tenet of Christianity.
I renounced that part, but all the other parts of Christianity I was pretty down with.
I still like the music.
Actually, that's so funny you say that, dude. Actually, one of the cherished moments that I've had so far with Soya and my girlfriend since August is on Christmas Day. After going to our church service, we went home and I was like, I was just kind of curious about what happened to all those like old, like, I just wanted to listen to like the praise songs from 2000. 2003
like
to like 2010.
So what was it like? Matt Redman?
Yeah, so I listened to Matt Redman. I was like, I forgot his name. I'd forgotten his name for a bit. Chris Tomlin. It was hard to forget his name.
Yeah, obviously Chris Tomlin.
Obviously
he's the GOAT. Chris Tomlin's the GOAT. Yeah.
Chris Tomlin is it's slightly more diva-ish.
Yeah, but he has a kind of, I don't know, not his voice, but kind of a Coldplay vibe to me, like sonorous.
But a lot of the
I guess that's praise music
had Coldplay,
and I mean, pretty sure.
Yeah, Chris Tomlin was so big that he like made his way into the Catholic
circles.
World.
Yeah,
I know Chris Tomlin.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. We sang some of his songs.
I remember going to the Indescribable tour.
Yeah,
where,
I love that.
Did you go to that?
No,
tour?
but I'm obsessed with that song.
Yeah,
I think Indescribable might be my favorite Christian rock song because it's such a good song.
It's well constructed.
It's such a good song.
Yeah, good bridge, good pre-chorus, everything. Yeah, but then there was that period when I felt like things were getting kind of what's the word, baroque, and there was just getting too many layers and too much like post
in Christian music,
specifically driven by Hillsong, and there was like just too many layers of like post punk. Kind of getting added on. It's getting too thick, and then you had Brooke Fraser / Ligerfeld.
I have no idea who that is.
And then she kind of came out with like simpler songs. And then Jesus Culture came, and I was trying to remember their names. I was like, who are these people?
Are you saying though that you and Sohyun bonded?
So we sat in my living room for a couple hours just listening to old praise songs.
That's pretty sick.
So that was kind of moving. But
That's
now,
awesome.
Unknowingly, she has started to pray. I'm going to say this because she's gonna listen to this. Unknowingly, she has started to pray before our meals.
That's not annoying.
It's a little annoying.
That is not annoying at all.
I know that you bought a guitar in this past year.
Yes.
Have you been playing?
From a Christian guitar company.
LOL.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
What's
yes.
it called?
What is it called?
What is it
Carpenter
called?
Guitars.
No,
They
it's-
market themselves as like a Christian
Yeah, it
guitar.
has like a. I mean, I wasn't
All
seeking it out.
glory
That
be to
way.
God. Yeah.
Glory be God is like
Yeah.
on the label.
Is it really? Oh,
Something like that.
Yeah. But I would imagine you just singing her the hits from 2004, like oh my God, making her.
Well, the problem is right now my strum patterns are so ridiculously inconsistent.
Facts.
Yeah, dude. Like,
Facts. Me too. I love that you're getting in touch. Well, I like that Sohyun is praying before meals because I want to get back into a habit of incorporating prayer into my life. I don't know if I'm going to do it before meals because I don't want to look like a psychopath
Where's this
in
coming
public.
from?
I'll do it for you whenever we eat.
Well,
you should bless it
I
directly
hold
on
your
the head.
I totally,
directly on the head.
I totally non-ironically and dead ass seriously said to Jaehyun maybe like a month ago, I was like, honey, I want us to start praying. And she was like, no.
Where did that come from?
I don't know, man. I don't really know. But it popped up in my head, and then I didn't reject it instantly, like I have for the last 15,
This was a month
20
ago?
years.
That's interesting.
Around a month ago. I think it was more just like, I don't think it's a bad practice to have prayer in the household, especially when you're raising a kid, but you need to be an example to them. You can't just be like, okay, like if my son grows up being like, we only pray before meals because it's kind of a ritual versus like praying is something that we do as a family. Like before meals isn't what I was really thinking of. I was thinking like, hey, once a week, maybe on Sunday nights before the week starts, we pray as a family to, kind of just like release the energy and get ready for a new week.
Dude,
whatever.
It's insane you said a month ago because actually I have a journal that says literally on. So I was saving this, but I was gonna say I also prayed. This is independent of Sohyun. This is before Christmas actually. I just prayed just because I think my head was just busy. I was just sort of going all over the place. And I was just in bed. And I was like, why not just pray? And I prayed. And that was on December 10th. And today is January 10th.
Whoa, a month ago.
And you feel Jesus works in mysterious ways, man. That's the only time I would pray as a family was before meals, and all it was just like you literally just do the sign of the cross and then you just eat.
Did you ever say the refrain, "Dear God, thank you for this wonderful day"?
No.
Okay, maybe that was just my church, but everyone I grew up with would always start the. Anyway, continue.
That being said, I'm not religious at all, but I think like whether it's prayer or just like getting together with your family and just appreciating each other and like saying stuff like that, I think that's a great practice.
It's important to. Even for children, to get them to communicate themselves, I guess. But it's weird because my exposure to that was we prayed before meals for sure, but we prayed a lot as a family after my parents had big arguments, which was weird. But it was also a great way to resolve like tension because my parents would be going at it, right? And then my sister and I are just really sad.
Yeah, wailing.
Right? And then like, okay, mom and dad are okay. And then mom and dad want us to pray together. And it would be like, they would pray. And then my sister and I would each pray. So we'd all take turns. But it would be like reaffirming what the lesson from that argument was almost.
That seems like a very formative experience, actually.
Yeah, for sure. I'm willing to say that it was more traumatizing than it was like instructive, but it taught me how to communicate what I feel. It taught me that.
That's good.
It does put you on your feet because
like,
now you're processing your disappointment.
Exactly. As a 10-year-old, imagine just like through tears, or not even tears. Your tears are dried now. Your cheeks are salty. That's what it is. You're just like it's 11 p.m. on a Thursday night, and you've been praying for an hour because my parents are so devout, right? And my sister and I are just like reaffirming these conclusions that they've drawn about how we should live and like be like whatever. I can't even remember what the lessons were, but I remember being there, sitting there, being like, I guess it's my turn to speak about the state of the family, which I think was healthy. I actually am glad that they allowed me to communicate my feelings.
Uttering those thoughts, because it gives you some sort of release.
Like, I think it was good because they let me release in my own way, but I was releasing to God and not venting to them or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was submitting myself to the Lord,
Although I
which
do
was
think
healthy.
the performative bit is actually helpful to some extent because it biases you towards positive lessons rather than just like bitching.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a performative aspect where like it's not like suddenly just because you're praying to God, no one else can hear you. You're going to say it out loud.
That's the craziest thing. It's like, I don't think I prayed in front of people ever since I left the church, obviously. But in church, it was very common to pray in front of people and kind of be performative, for sure.
Yeah, and some people take it very, very performative.
I think between you and me, Saul, we could perform. We could
perform some prayers right now.
Madison Square Garden.
No, I'd have to practice. My epistrophes.
Oh my God! Way to bust out a rhetoric term.
Yeah.
Epistrophe.
Oh,
Do you mean
Lord,
apostrophes?
Oh,
When you say
oh, there is apostrophe. No,
Yeah.
but epistrophe is starting your list with the same phrase.
Oh,
Lord grant us, Lord grant
I
us,
see.
Lord grant
So it's a
us,
version
Lord
of
grant us.
anaphora.
Yeah, anaphora is the end, right? No, it's the other way around.
It's the other
Anaphora is
way.
the beginning.
Yes.
Epistrophe is the end.
Yes, there we go.
Epi.
Yeah.
Right, that makes sense.
It's a musical term.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because if you repeat a phrase like 3 times or something like that,
It's called anaphora? Or
no,
epistrophe?
epistrophe.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Well, speaking of music, Jaehyun doesn't get Bob Dylan, and I was a little bit butthurt by that. But I thought it was good fodder because I actually don't really know what Jay's thoughts on Bob Dylan are, and I feel like Saul could either.
Oh, you and I talked about Bob Dylan literally a week ago.
we talked
or not
about
even.
Bob
Oh,
Dylan.
at the cafe.
Okay.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out where that conversation was. Okay.
Well, what's
So I don't know how it started. Well, I do know how. It's because Jay got me a guitar for Christmas, and I started playing again. And the only song in my brain right now is "A Hard Rain Is Gonna Fall" because that's the song that Timothy Chalamet sings in the trailer for the new Bob Dylan biopic. Okay, so there's a lot of information there, but I'm like, oh, where have you been, my blue-eyed son?
Yeah.
Like I've been humming it, so I played it for her yesterday. I was like strumming along, and she's like, wants to hear the original. But her complaint is his voice is annoying.
Yeah.
He does this, which we all know.
Yeah.
And then she essentially asked me, like, why is he famous? I don't get it.
Yeah.
And I was a little drunk last night, and I was in total just like, oh, I'm going to teach her everything about Bob Dylan that I know in my brain. And I realized I know very little, but I was, he was basically, he is a product of his generation, right? He's a product of that time in terms of, like, he might not be the most, like, technically skilled singer or even player, but he's such a good songwriter, and his lyrics really match the zeitgeist. As like vague as they are and poetic and folksy as they are, they really match that time. I was trying to communicate, like, you don't understand, babe. Like, people thought he was a prophet of a generation. Like, those words were attributed to him.
Yeah.
And so he is like kind of the goat of, at least for like singer songwriters. Like a lot, there's
American
no one who can't
songwriting.
exactly.
I would say.
And she was like, but who could he be compared to today? And the only thing I could think of was maybe someone like Kanye West, who is just so undeniably good at what he does. Love him or hate him, you can't deny that he's like one of the greats, Or like maybe someone like Billie Eilish, who is a really good songwriter and like kind of speaks to her generation's like angst or whatever you want to call their thing. But otherwise, I couldn't think of a single musical artist that kind of does what Bob Dylan did for today.
I think back then there was like the civil rights movement happening, and there were all these folk singers like Pete Seeger and Joan Baez who were like very active in the movement and like trying to make change. And they would write songs that were great, but Bob Dylan would come in. He came in and he would write songs that like blew those songs completely out of the water, and they were like, oh my God, you're a freaking genius. Can you help us? And he didn't really care to do that. Like he was just putting shit out because it was just flowing through him.
Yeah.
And so there was that like a little bit of a point of contention there, but
between him and the other folk people.
I think so.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, I would recommend. I don't know how interested Jaehyun would be in this,
the documentary.
but if you want to, like understand a little bit more why Bob Dylan is so appreciated and such a genius is the Martin Scorsese documentary, which I talked to Saul about. No Direction Home. It's like 3.5 hours. It's pretty long, but it's in 2 parts. But you really, I think you really do get a feel for like why this person meant so much to music. For sure. Like American music.
I remember,
wasn't it like Otis Redding or somebody was like, "Who is this white guy singing about our problems better than us?" or something like that?
Yeah. I don't know if it was Otis Redding, but yeah, it was. A lot of black people appreciated him at the time as well. Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. His voice isn't great. He's like a good guitar player. He can play harmonica great, but he's not like any sort of like genius.
Yeah.
But just the fact that he can write these like amazing lyrics.
Such a good lyricist. Yeah. Really, he is a poet, basically.
And his fame wasn't through like airways at first, right? It was just through the local like Greenwich Village.
I'm not really sure. I remember when that documentary came out for sure. I bought like the B-side album. It came, you know, like
he would write songs and then record companies would be like, "Hey, Peter, Paul, and Mary, you put this same song out," and
that was
so like a bunch of like famous, like the Turtles, like all these different famous like pop musicians would take his songs and like go off.
So then, did Bob Dylan write "Knocking on Heaven's Door"?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because it's funny because like we know, but Bob Marley also did a pretty good version of that, right? Bob Marley and the Wailers do a very iconic one. So growing up for me, like I remember that one better than Dylan's, but then I got into the documentary in high school for sure. I watched it on PBS. I was really into it. I don't remember much though from his life except 2 facts. One, his name is I think Robert Zimmerman, and then he got his name from Dylan Thomas, the poet, and he was mainly inspired by Woody Guthrie. Yeah, that's all I really remember. Yeah, and also that when he went electric, people hated him. Yeah, which I thought was great because music, you know, today, when artists veer out of the path that the public knows them for, they're almost always just torn to shreds. Almost always. So I don't look at, I mean, I haven't listened to anything. Modern Times did not listen to that album at all. Like, I don't listen to any new Dylan. But you put on, like, Blonde on Blonde or, you know, like Highway, whatever, Revisited. Like, those 2 albums are, like, pretty good, you know?
Yeah. A quote from him that I really like is that like an artist is always in a state of becoming and like not staying stagnant. And I think he always lived by that. And, you know, he did his folk thing, quote unquote, and then he just wanted to move on to like different shit. And he even like, he was stubborn in that way where like Joan Baez would talk about how when they would perform a song that they've performed a bunch of times, he would just fuck it up. He would play it in a different time signature just to be a dick. Yeah.
He did that with Johnny Cash.
Yeah. And that's another thing is like, It Ain't Me, Babe. That's Bob Dylan.
Right.
But, you know, Johnny Cash made that
more
famous.
Yeah. Same with Girl from the North Country. I think Johnny Cash's, or him and Dylan have a version. But on that track, that exact thing happens where Dylan will just like come in earlier or like change like a word. And then you can just like almost hear in Johnny Cash's voice because he's so patient and slow with his singing. He's just like, who the fuck is this motherfucker? Yeah, anyway. So that's Dylan. That's Dylan for you.
I'm excited for that.
I don't know if there's, going back to the idea of if there's an analog to like 2024, 25. Like, I don't know if as a literacy teacher, I really don't know if like there's enough cohesion in society, in American society, for there to be a similar role.
Yeah, a like voice that represents
Kanye.
the
like
people.
You mentioned Kanye, you mentioned
Billie Eilish.
But like,
which I don't know.
But these are products. Yeah. For me, they're products. Like the songs are products, and it's like they're fragmented. There's like a supply chain, and there's like, you know, there's like distribution rights, and there's all these like laws around protecting certain players in the game, and so like, and then there's Spotify, which is kind of has its own weird role in it. And I'm not deep in the music business, like.
No, you said, I think it really hit on the head. It's like, I think music is a product now, and it's not an expression as much, you know?
Like, it's not like people are building their followings through platforms now, which, you know, if they're more indie, I guess it's like SoundCloud. and I don't even know if that's still true in 2025. By the way,
no idea.
Or if, and if they're not as indie, they're just doing it through whatever. I guess Spotify is kind of like the default now, right? But back then there was also you would just play at your venues, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm still kind of curious. I don't really know this. I don't know much about Bob Dylan's initial start. I did watch Inside Llewyn Davis, and I didn't really get a lot of the references. I didn't really get a lot of it, honestly.
But is that movie basically Inside Llewyn Davis, the Coen Brothers film, is basically a pastiche of Bob Dylan's life? Is that right?
A dude that gets overshadowed by Bob Dylan.
Oh, he gets overshadowed. Oh, that's even funnier.
Yeah,
that's really funny.
Yeah, I kind of didn't get a lot of the references when I watched it, like however many years ago. But
yeah, that movie has a really good song by Mumford and Sons, but it's an old folk song. Anyway, we don't have to sing it.
Well, you don't have to, but you're going
to. Stomp, clap, stomp, clap.
Let's see what else. Well, I was thinking we did go briefly into Saul's spotlight, so his 2024, 2025. I was wondering, okay, so do we want to go into Dish of the Week? Is there anything on anyone's mind that has happened this week or gone? I have a few. Actually, I have a lot of things to share about my week.
I have nothing, so I'll start first just to get it out of the way. This week, I've just been primarily just visiting family and friends.
Yeah.
So I've not the only thing I did was squeeze in a bit of Lolita reading because you gifted me
Lolita.
Yeah.
Yes.
The book. So I'm just reading. So at this point, he has now secured continual access to his little prize.
Yes. I know it's weird. So basically, the beginning of Lolita begins with this dude like living as a boarder in this house with this woman, a widow, and her young 14-year-old daughter, and falls in love with the daughter. And then the mother dies in a freak car accident.
Well, I'm not there yet, but
oh shit! When he said secured the
continual access, I meant married her.
Oh, okay. Shit. Yeah. Well, yeah, he becomes her. I mean, but it's also it's such a.
It's not really about the plot.
You know it's going to happen anyway. It's a very Deus Ex Machina kind of thing where it's like conveniently the mom suddenly dies and now he's like the father, and that's literally the first fourth of the book. It's very early in the book where that happens. So you have a lot. Wow. A lot of shit goes down for sure.
Yeah, a
lot goes down.
Yeah, just squeezing a couple pages here and there.
I'm glad that you're liking the book though.
Liking is a funny word for that book.
Oh, sorry.
Liking is a funny word for the book.
I like you're getting your rocks off in that book. It's great.
It's a strange experience for sure.
It's a hard book to read, in my opinion. Not hard in terms of subject matter. It's hard on a linguistic level. It's a difficult book to read.
He really likes language, so there's a lot of that going on. But it's my first read through. I'm not gonna sit on every.
I'm really excited for you to get into Nabokov, man. He's one of my favorite writers, but my brain doesn't work as fast, so reading him takes effort. And when I was in my 20s, I was like, this is stimulating, like this is challenging, and now I can't be fucked, But okay, so your dish of the week being Lolita and how
that's the one thing that I have
scintillating
right
it is.
Yes. Yes.
So what's been going on for you, Aaron? You said you had a lot of stuff.
Okay, so let's see. Where do I begin? This morning, Jaehyun had a little morning sickness.
Oh, no.
Okay? But it's her first symptom since being pregnant. But poor girl, God bless her heart, was just... It was like she got the bubonic plague or something, because she was like, I can't move. She's laid in bed until like 10, which is very uncharacteristic of her. She's she's a go-getter in the mornings. And apparently, I don't even know what time, maybe 3 or 4 in the morning, she was for an hour near the toilet thinking that she was going to throw up.
Oh, man.
Yeah, she's like, he just woke up with like acid reflux. So she was in a terrible, terrible mood. Not even mood. She was really sad. She was just sad all day, even though she felt completely fine. Like I had to sleep on the couch last night because I drank last night. But I walked in the room this morning and she was like, I had a bad night. And then was acting like a 5-year-old the whole day. Like, can you hold me? Can you just sit next to me and hold me? And I had to just do it,
You brush my hair.
Yeah, hold my hair back while I barf kind of energy. But it was cute, but also her every year, millions of pregnant women who barf consecutively for weeks during the first trimester, and she had one bad night. I had one bad night. Oh no. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is we bought a new Dyson vacuum, and it's been Jae-hyun's quote is, quote, "We are very excited." Like she speaks for both of us.
I have a question. So I think maybe like the first couple generations of Dyson, you would have to hold the button to continue vacuuming.
Yes,
Did they change that?
No, you still do. You still do.
That's the problem that I have.
I've read that online. I've read of that complaint. It never bothered me. I liked
Weird.
I like pushing the button like a gun. I like it.
I have I forget what the model name is, but it's like 1.5 kilograms. You know, like
I think you have the same one that we just
Dyson?
the old one that we had.
that one. You don't have to keep the.
Oh, really?
Oh. The new ones, you just press the button and it stays.
Oh, that's right. Okay, the
There's
new ones,
several
there's
models.
an on button. You're right. The new one, there's an on button and it just stays. We got the budget version.
The slim version.
Yeah, we got slim. We got the
There's
V8 Slim. But here's why. Here's why.
Yeah.
It's like getting the V8 Slim from our old model was like upgrading from the first generation iPod to an iPod Nano.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's thinner, same specs, but it's just way nicer and lighter. And that's what we bought. It's basically the same specs as our old version from like 3 years ago. But it was worth it. It was cheap compared to the other models. You know,
a good vacuum is
it's everything.
Everything. Yeah.
But also the most expensive models were piggy cheap, like $1,000, $900.
Yeah.
And this one was 300 USD ish, maybe 250. It was cheap. It was
that's pretty good.
And so I kind of was like, even though I'm a big fan of buying top of the line things when you're investing, we opted for the budget version. There's no regrets.
I actually want to push for a potential return and just put this on your radar. Just because
Did I just lose Dyson some money?
No, for Dyson though. For Dyson, I have the Dyson Micro 1.5 kilograms, which is a separate line altogether.
This is a very funny conversation.
I don't think they sell it in America because America is a carpet first country, whereas here we're hardwood first country or hard linoleum or whatever the hell cheap thing you
Depends
have.
on where in America. I think people are moving more towards
hardwood. Yeah.
Well, the thing is that like my Dyson, just the 1.5 kilo micro, doesn't come with the regular head. It just comes with I forget what it's called, like the fluffy roller head.
Yeah. I know.
Which is 4 hard floors.
Yes.
And it's 1.5 kilograms. It is so fucking light. Like, it is so light. It's way smaller than what you have right there.
No, well, that's a different... That device... I don't even want to get into it. But that device over there does not need to be there. We don't need that.
Yeah,
it's a steamer.
Okay. It kind of looks Dyson-y, but it also looks very blue.
Before... do you want
to... For the scale of this house, I really do think... Because my house is... 25평, so whatever that is.
Yeah, that's around what this is.
I don't need any. Like, it's perfectly fine and it's so light.
Yeah, that's exactly what. I mean, okay, the reason why we didn't buy top of the line is because the top of the line one has a steamer built in. Yeah. But my lovely wife bought a $300 steamer. It was too heavy, but let's be honest. I mean, she works out. She can lift a 3 kilo device.
It's crazy what lightness
Her
does.
phone weighs 3 kilos, and it's always in front of her face. So
before we move on from Dyson, which I'm sad to do, I need to shout out Samsung because I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast, but I remember wanting to really badly because this past year I bought a nice Samsung vacuum, and it's fucking...
Is it the one that like cleans it automatically?
It like self cleans. Like you put it on a little thing and you press a button and
Did
like
Sue
it
convince
empties.
you to buy it?
No, I actually my friend Brett from the States, he has one and he's like, you should get this vacuum. And I was like, I'm in. And keep it on, which means made in Korea.
Support local.
Support
your local conglomerate.
With this.
Everyone knows Dyson, and everyone knows Samsung, but let's appreciate their vacuum
about
line.
Samsung though. That vacuum. The one nuisance with Dyson that I don't know if there's a solution, and maybe Samsung has a solution for this. The one nuisance that I kind of run into is like I kind of dislike the experience of like emptying that canister.
Yeah.
Just because there's so much dust that just flies everywhere.
Yeah.
Is that
You don't have to
You
deal
don't have
with
to do
that.
shit. Yeah,
brother.
the Samsung one will do everything for you.
There's
Yeah.
there's a stand that you place it on, and it has like this dust bag that will collect it. And so you press a button, and it will like whoosh, just like extract it all, and then you're ready to go.
Oh,
and then you
totally overrated now, Dyson. Okay, I'm
Yeah, I
sold.
mean, it's a superior product for sure. It's a superior product.
Is it also more expensive? Is it?
It
why?
is.
it's pretty.
It's expensive.
It's not cheap. Yeah,
Okay.
It's
but
expensive.
you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't
with
regret it.
with 2 cats, dude.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
like
yeah.
being able to vacuum
I mean,
more frequently.
yeah,
It's worth it, dude. Because
Yeah.
I just hate spreading dust everywhere when I'm.
I think it's hilarious that we talked about vacuums for like 15 minutes.
Do you think it's gonna stay in the episode or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
we'll
we got to
just
keep it in. No, it's great. It's great content.
Jay, what about you? What's going on for your dish of the week? What do you have for us?
My
today?
dish of the week. I've just been staying at home all week. I haven't seen anyone, but I did have a question. So like I went running the other day. I have a question on whether I am the asshole in this situation.
Okay.
So
Let's hear it.
I'll tell you guys what happened. So I like to run to Hangang and back. It's like a nice like 5 kilo run. And on my way back, I was passing this apartment complex that's kind of on a hill. And, you know, I'm blasting my music on my AirPods, but I have my hood on. So like you can't tell that I have headphones in.
Mm-hmm.
And I see this man, just like a regular ass looking man, but he sort of looks like one of those solicitors or like someone who's trying to get
hand
you
you something.
try to get you to join a cult or something like that. So I was just like, I want to finish my 3rd mile under my time goal. And I'm blasting my music. And I like nod to him, and then I just keep going. And then I look to my left to make sure no cars are coming, and I keep going. And then I hear him be like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And he like yells at me. And then I was like, okay, maybe I was rude. I'm sorry. And then I just keep going, and I run for like a block maybe. And I get to like a bus stop that's there. And then I see the people who are waiting for the bus stop kind of like look behind me, like concerned. And I look back, and he had chased me for like a block, and he's like yelling at me. He's like, yeah, I check you, blah, blah, blah. He was like so pissed.
Well, why?
And I don't know. So a bunch of different things went through my head. Like one, maybe he's just a fucking crazy dude. So I'm glad that I didn't stop to like engage with him, because maybe I don't know what was going on. But then I started spiraling and just was like, what if he had like a sick daughter or something and was like trying to get like genuinely get help, and I was ignored him. And
I don't think you're the asshole. I think he's an asshole, dude. He fucking chased you down when you did. So
Wait, I feel like
from your story,
I'm still curious what happened after that moment.
So once I looked back at the bus stop, he had stopped actually running, but I saw that he was like yelling at me, and he was like pissed. And clearly, it wasn't very fast because I don't run very fast.
I mean, could it be possible that when you ran past and like nodded at him, somehow you might have like kicked him with the back of your, hit his hand with your foot or something?
I
would feel that.
I didn't even nod. I just like made eye contact with him, and then in that moment, I was just like, I don't want to deal with like
it must have been
shit. And
so either then you had the funniest facial expression on your face of disdain and judgment that he was like, I need to let this guy know.
My resting bitch face.
Yeah. Or that he's just a nutso. Or you didn't do anything wrong.
You look suspiciously like the guy that his wife cheated on him with.
Well, I did meet
I did pork a 55-year-old the other day.
Okay, yeah. So that's what happened.
Interesting.
To me
No,
a couple
I don't
days
think
ago.
you're the asshole at all.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I literally was starting to spiral. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have bad karma for like the rest of 2025.
It's
What
funny.
would the non-asshole reaction to that situation be? Go back to him?
Run back to his original
the non-asshole
space.
would have been to stop and
In the
like,
first place.
actually like
Like,
be like,
listen to what he had
what's-
to say.
Yeah, what's going on? But I was just, I was like in the zone. I didn't want to.
No, there's nothing wrong with anyone straight up ignoring a solicitor. There's nothing wrong with that.
But he might. to be fair, he may not have been a solicitor.
He might have had a genuine inquiry or emergency or something like that.
But like I didn't hear. I couldn't.
Did you check your pockets? Did you drop your wallet or something? Maybe he was like chasing you down. You know what I mean? Like
I'm assuming there was a trail of toilet paper coming off your foot.
Yeah, I'm that's the property of Samsung.
Yeah, but he was screaming
That's
bloody
crazy.
murder when I would look back.
But Koreans are we are people that will scream bloody murder and then in the tip of a hat will drink with you and call you. I mean, that's how Koreans are. This is the character of Korea, you know. I think anger is performative a lot in Korea.
Did he look like he might have lost a home and family? Like,
did he look like he was from Altadena, Los Angeles?
He looked like the most regular ass, like 45-year-old person.
Yeah.
And I was trying to justify my actions, and if he did have like a crazy emergency and he needed help, there was a bus stop there with like a bunch of people.
Yeah,
so
he would not
asked.
have chased you.
Yeah. So I don't know.
You're fine, dude.
Okay.
You're
Thank
fine. Yeah, you're fine. I thought I was hoping that it would be more of like a
debatable.
Oh, maybe you were, but this is clear cut. I don't think you were in the wrong at all. Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, I think the moment that you're focusing on, Jay, is should you have stopped that second time that you had the opportunity when he kind of yelled while you're running?
I wouldn't have stopped at that point because he looked like he wanted to murder me.
No, you keep running. When angry Korean man is chasing you for like half a kilometer or whatever, you don't.
Yeah. To reiterate, I'm not fast. I don't run very fast. So I was just like jogging.
I'm imagining you jogging right now. Some guy jogging even slower.
Yeah. The idea also, picturing you just running with AirPods and blasting music, and then this guy screaming at you must have been so funny and weird to people who saw it happen until you finally got to the bus stop and you're like, had a moment to breathe, and then you're like, what the fuck? I don't know. That's really funny.
Yeah.
But I don't think,
Yeah, so that happened. Otherwise, my dish of the week, like I said, I haven't been doing anything. Just
haven't been doing anything.
Watching news. I watched Rain Man, took a screenshot of...
that was Rain Man you were watching.
Yeah.
It was a Tom Cruise movie.
Tom Cruise looking sad and questioning life decisions while holding a bottle of Pepto-Bismol, which I think sums up my life pretty well. So.
Wait, and who plays opposite?
Dustin Hoffman. Yeah,
that's right.
It's... For me, it's one of my favorite movies. It is one of my favorite movies, I think, full stop. But it's one of the movies that, like, we watched as a family. That was like a legitimately like good film.
Did you guys have it on VHS?
Yeah.
Damn, we got to bring back VHS movies, or like the idea of it that like every household has anywhere from 3 to 20 tapes that you have access to anytime you want. So fuck Netflix. Like, I want my kid to be obsessed with like 8 films until he's 12.
Can you name 2 films that
from my childhood?
you want?
I mean, The Mask. Jim Carrey's The Mask was a big one, and Terminator 2.
I think I had a copy of The Mask. Actually, as well.
And Addams Family. Those are the 3 that I definitely remember are copies. I watched them not hundreds, but probably dozens of times.
The Mask I watched multiple, like dozens of times.
Dozens of times. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, speaking to the mic, man, you had one job.
For me, obviously Rain Man, but Ghost was like a big one.
Okay.
We had Ghost, and the cover
Patrick
scared
Swayze.
me.
Yeah.
But that's a great movie as well.
And you also had, obviously, Home Alone 3.
Home Alone 3.
That's a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Well, was your
Beethoven
family...
second.
Oh, I love the Beethoven movies. Did your family do a lot of VHS, Saul?
I feel like we just had a couple from the Korean shop, and we just didn't return them, and so they just stayed in purgatory.
That was definitely a thing too. Like, just keep the tape.
So
a lot of like Korean shop owners being like, just keep the tape. It's all good. It was bootleg anyway, basically.
I had some random Dragon Ball Z Frieza episode that I watched multiple times,
and that's why you became the modern Frieza. We all know it. We all say it behind your back. You're basically Frieza.
But better looking.
Way better looking and less white and purple. I was thinking, so I've been thinking a lot about trying to create segments for the podcast, right? So Dish of the Week is one that we've floated many times, but I have a new segment, which is basically I rip off Next Shark's Instagram page and I talk about the hottest stories for Asian Americans because we are begrudgingly Asian American.
And Asian American.
Okay, here's one. There has been a 240% surge in alcohol-related death among Asian Americans, specifically Asian American men, though. Okay, so why do we think this is, and what do we have to say about it?
250%.
240%.
240%.
Uh-oh. Yours is to be the guy from Heroes.
The region is all of the U.S.
I looked into it and I couldn't find the article that it was referencing.
I could totally believe this as like an Itaewon phenomenon.
No, just like, it's among Asian Americans, but I think it might. I don't know. Okay, here's what I concluded. I don't know what it is to be Asian American anymore. I'm too old, and I have lived in Korea for so long. I'm so out of touch. I don't know what it feels like to be a young Asian American person. I suspect it feels way better than it did when we were growing up. But that's also the old head in me who wants to compare generations and be like, we had it worse, but we did. It sucked growing up for us as Asian American men. But I think now I just wonder, I feel like drinking culture, partying, like it's not as unique to be an Asian who fucking parties, right? I think even for our generation, it was not that unique, but I felt like a unique person when I was the Asian kid in my grade who like was down to drink at a party and stuff. I went to school with a lot of squares, and I wonder maybe the surge in alcohol related death is somewhat attributable to A, drinking and driving, because Asians love rice rockets and they love alcohol. Or B,
yeah, you haven't lived in America for 10 years. It shows.
Wait, we still
rice
drive
rockets?
We still drive rice rockets, right?
Like souped up Civics.
Oh no, it's just Teslas. Never mind. Or it's just like Asians are just more accepted as part of the mainstream culture that does like partying. And
I could totally believe it's just that our generation of Asian American, like our peers, the moms are, or a lot of them are moms now, and now there's a cohort that wants more data on alcohol to reduce alcoholism among their husbands / children, and so it's just like we just have.
So you think this data was sponsored by
stats are just dude,
angryasianmom.com?
Death attribution is so like you can
so nebulous.
Yeah, you can attribute at any moment. You can attribute it to any one of a dozen things.
Yeah,
so it's just like if there's enough political power behind a particular narrative.
I think Saul, you really knocked that one on the head because that is 100% true. There's attributing death to
240% could just be like it could be from 15 people.
But
to
alcohol-related death is also pretty specific.
Yeah,
though,
I don't
right?
know. I don't study like health policy enough to like know how rigorous the data, like the intake is. It could be very rigorous as far as I'm concerned.
Let's look at us as a data sample. So we drink not excessively.
I think
I've definitely almost died.
CDC would definitely disagree.
I have definitely almost died from being fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
One time in college, I was crossing the tracks of the T, and my roommate thank God he was with me. I had my headphones in for some reason, and I was a little tipsy. We were coming from the bar, and I literally almost could have died. He pulled me back. Yeah. Danny Ugolik, thank you, bro. I remember that, bro. I remember that day because he was also my roommate. And he's like, you owe me, man. Like, I literally saved your life. You owe me. And I was in denial.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, man, no, I saw it coming, but I definitely did not see it coming. I would have died.
When you're thinking alcohol-related death, I'm seeing that you're thinking primarily 20-somethings.
I'm thinking, like, if you're drunk and you die,
Partying.
that's an alcohol-related death.
That's what I'm wondering. Is it like, okay, like you drown and then after the fact, they do an autopsy
and you were drunk.
and then they find that you are drunk.
Yeah.
But like it could also be like older people who are just like, who kill themselves. They're suicidal,
interesting.
right?
Do you think if you commit suicide when you're drunk, is that classified as an alcohol-related death? I actually don't know.
That's the
I
question,
feel like
I think.
for simplicity's sake, if I were designing health policy, I don't specifically want data on alcohol-related death. I just make it inclusive and just be like, if you had alcohol in your system,
Yeah.
Everything.
if you had alcohol in your system and you died, then we would
At
have
240% surge is rather
that
high.
is and
it would
quite
not be
high.
single select. Just because you choose alcohol related doesn't exclude
Right,
like,
exactly.
like other things.
All right. This story has been debunked. Bullshit. Next story. Kimchi found to combat obesity, which I think we all knew, right? This was literally a headline.
That's so funny. This is more statistics. I feel like people who are in their mid somethings, what was this, 40s?
I don't know.
Middle-aged, just middle-aged.
Again,
man.
I couldn't fact check any of this because Next Shark does not really share a lot of links.
Their sources.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's difficult, I feel, to prove just because kimchi is a Korean food, and
Right. Like,
there
were
is
they
no
only testing
obesity.
Korean men?
Yeah, there's no like obesity.
Yeah, what
here.
were they comparing
Really,
against?
so-
I don't know. I suspect
Yeah.
they were only.
Because if they're comparing against Korean men who are not eating kimchi, I bet people who are literally are not eating kimchi. First of all, it's probably
Like
a very
maybe
small.
if you took a bunch of like obese people and then we're like, hey, this group eats kimchi for like
Right, exactly,
a year, and then the
exactly.
other group eats the regular diet.
And
like,
we also have to control every other aspect of their diet and make sure that their body types are like evenly. Like the science behind proving this is so stupid. But also,
I will
yeah.
just-
but I believe it.
I
believe it too.
Yeah, yeah.
I believe if you're the type of
Tanmingo.
person, I believe if you're the type of
Son.
person that eats kimchi frequently, you probably are making better life choices. I don't know.
Well, 'cause you
You're
probably-
just eating less burgers per week.
Oh my God.
just something like that.
I had a burger last night for dinner. It was so wonderful.
Nice. Where'd you get it from?
I went to Ra Ra. I ordered from Ra
Hell
Ra.
yeah.
It was good.
I love Ra
It was
Ra.
good.
Yeah.
Is that in this area?
It's in Haebangchon, but it just made me think. I eat Korean food so much now that Jay and I are married. Like I eat it at least 4 days a week, numerous meals,
Nice.
and she still chooses to remember the times that I ate pizza every day. And she'll be like, "You eat too much pizza," and I'll be like, "I haven't had pizza in like 8 days. Like that's not a lot of pizza, dude.
Yeah.
Cut me some slack." So even that burger. I haven't had a burger in a pretty long time, but she still is convinced that I'm like a sloppy American guy. So, anyway, okay, kimchi bullshit. Next story. Hiroyuki Sanada from Shogun, the Japanese actor, won the Best Actor award at Golden Globes.
Wow.
Did you watch the show, Shogun?
No.
I did not
I
watch
didn't.
Shogun.
You look like you did.
I look like I maybe came out of it. And
You
died
actually
early.
look like the actor Hiroyuki Sanada. Also, when I read this at first, I thought it said Hyundai Sonata.
the sponsor of Shogun. Yes.
I was like, how did the car win?
Wow.
Wow, dude. AI is crazy. Did anyone here watch Shogun? Jay, you didn't watch it?
I didn't watch it.
It
no.
was so good.
I heard it was good.
Yeah, it was really, really good. It's not just good from like a narrative standpoint. It's sexy. It's hot.
Ew.
Dude, when the white, dirty foreigner ultimately fornicates with the hot, lovely geisha,
Ew.
my white male dreams, fantasies came true. And
White male fantasies?
my white male rage fantasies came true. And I moved to Korea. All right, next story.
I like the idea of calling it bullshit or not bullshit.
Yeah,
But,
that is not bullshit, though. He deserves the award. That show was phenomenal. He was really good in it.
I haven't watched it. I call bullshit.
Typical American. Okay, next story. Squid Game. Did we watch it? Season 2.
I did.
I'm not.
And what?
I had absolutely no expectations, or no. In fact, I thought that it would be bad.
Me too.
And so I was pleasantly surprised. I
too.
thought it was fine. It was good. It
was good.
I enjoyed it.
Did you like T.O.P.'s character, though? That's the question.
Well,
Thanos.
I had no idea who this person was before it. So
interesting.
Like our friends were talking shit on this character, and they're like, "Oh my god, why is Top doing this?" I thought it was fucking funny.
No, I thought he was so funny. So in this show, you know T.O.P., right, Saul? So
know.
T.O.P. plays like a has-been rapper who is in the Squid Game, so he needs the money. But he speaks English a lot, but his English is so bad.
It's
really
cringy.
funny. It's really cringy. Every time he said something, I laughed out loud. Me too. Every time.
Me too. It was like cringy in the best way for me.
Exactly.
I was
Cringy in the best way. So I applaud Netflix for that decision.
Yeah. I liked him. So
Okay, well, and sort of attendant to this Asian news, I want to say I watched Wicked finally.
Oh,
Wicked was great. Have you seen it?
Yeah, it was good.
Oh, how did that feel for you? Because I know you have some personal trauma.
So
related to Wicked.
I was healed. I was healed.
Nice.
As Jay knows, as a young man, my sister and my mom went to San Francisco to watch the Broadway version of Wicked. They did not invite me. Mm-hmm. And they came home and my sister was humming to herself all these songs and melodies I had no access to. And I spent 17 years festering in that feeling.
Yeah.
And I finally watched it. I loved every song.
Yeah.
I cried at the end when she is like singing Unlimited before the halftime show break, whatever. I mean, it's broken into 2 parts, but I teared up. I was like, what a lovely, powerful song. Loved it. And then I also watched the new Yorgos Lanthimos movie,
Oh.
Kinds of Kindness.
I
Have you
didn't
guys
know-
seen it?
No, I didn't know.
So a
that.
lot of people
Haven't even heard of.
haven't even heard of it.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of it.
I want you guys to watch it so we can talk about it. It's so for listeners out there, Yorgos Lanthimos is probably most well known for The Lobster. Would you say, Jay? Or
Probably just because that I think
Lobster.
it won
Okay.
a bunch
That
of
won an
awards,
award,
but
yeah.
also Killing of a Sacred Deer.
so
right?
good.
Yeah.
And then his last one before that, what was it called, babe?
Poor Things.
Poor Things.
Yeah, Poor
He won
Things.
the
That's
Oscar
what I
for
was
that.
thinking
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
Poor Things is great. Kinds of Kindness
Yeah.
is kind of in the same spirit as a movie like Poor Things or a movie like, honestly, Killing of the Sacred Deer, which feels mythological, fantastical, unreal, literally not happening in real life because there's no way these things could happen in a real world, but it is told in a very plain, realistic way. Love him. My favorite director, bar none.
Wow.
Yeah, right now,
Damn.
favorite lip. No, I'm going to go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
Yeah, lean into
Yorgos
it, man.
Lanthimos is my favorite director, for sure. And then lastly, I watched Enora.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that one?
I've been wanting to. Haven't.
Yeah.
It's hot.
It's
It's hot.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
it's pretty. There, yeah. There's a
There's
lot of like
some sexy scenes.
hot scenes. I would
I
say.
think it
yeah.
starts off pretty
But-
sexy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I
decently
heard.
sexy. A lot of
Yeah.
titties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was boned up. I mean, 45 minutes in, I was like, this boner is not going away. This is crazy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Loved it. Enora, great
It was
movie.
good.
So,
Yeah.
you and I are going to watch that.
He said
get some
to
ideas.
He said to his Christian girlfriend. All right, last story. Last story. Japanese scientists have created a recyclable plastic that dissolves in seawater without producing microplastics. Giselle, do you think this is bullshit or not?
No, this is for real.
Okay.
This is for real.
I also think it's probably for real, but it's so expensive to make, probably.
I would assume right now it's probably hard to turn into something. Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if
That's
you're
You just need to
That's awesome,
sacrifice like 2
though.
Koreans.
It is awesome. It is
Yeah,
awesome.
I
Just,
mean-
just hang 2 Koreans
whole-
and boil them, and then you can
Yikes.
Wait, are you sure you haven't seen Shogun? Okay, never mind.
one of these bottles.
Well,
gets taken
because
care
like
of.
if we can you imagine though, because plastic was invented because it was such a cheap substance. It was invented because it was cheap. It was just
Yeah.
oil turned into a material, solid, right? So I don't know how valid this is, but I trust Japan as much as begrudgingly I do.
Yeah.
So I'm very
The main thing I don't trust is science journalism. But because usually what happens is you'll have like something that might work, and they'll be like, "It works."
Yeah,
but,
sure.
But I believe something like that will happen.
Whether it's
if it has.
expensive or not, we need to like get away from plastics. Like just from all the shit that's happening with the fires and everything, it's just so clear that we need to like start
change
to
it up. Do we know
Yeah.
what? Do we know what started the LA fires yet? Has that news come out? Because I couldn't find any information.
Well,
I did do a brief lookup. Yeah, it was hard to.
yeah, I don't know if there was like a clear cut
Dry
thing,
and
but it's just
wind.
the Santa Ana winds. When it's really windy and the conditions are ripe for
Right.
that kind of stuff,
right.
like
But I was
anything.
saying to Jaehyun, like, I feel like honestly, every time there's been a fire in California, we know what where the cause was. Every time. I don't think there's been a single fire so far in my life where it wasn't like a brush fire started in this region of this park, it spread. Like, this is the first time that we don't really know exactly where or what started it, which is weird to me. And then Jan was like, conspiracy theorist?
But it happened in multiple locations within LA,
Which
so
is even crazier.
I think it's just the conditions are there. Like any little thing
Yeah.
could have like sparked it.
But because LA wasn't exceptionally hot this year this year probably it was, but I'm saying it's December in LA, January in LA.
it's dry and it's windy.
Oh, I see. It's dry and windy. Okay, so it's just any sort of spark could
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, I'm not a fucking
I don't know.
weather person.
My theory, and I am a conspiracy theorist, but my theory is that ever since that CEO got shot, people are just more. Dude, so a lady gets lit on fire in a subway in New York, right? A young Ivy League graduate shoots a CEO in broad daylight. You know, like the world is getting a little bit crazier. I don't know if it's crazier than it ever has been, but I'm just saying, like, it wouldn't surprise me if some of these fires were arson in LA, because it just seems like so insane to me. I don't know.
Well, I don't like that just because I think it discounts like the effect that our pollution has on the earth.
Yeah.
You know, because in the Bay Area, we dealt with fires, like crazy fires in Napa and stuff. So, I don't want to take away from the platform or the opportunity for climate change to be showcased. Yeah.
But I'm not going to lie, man. My friends are posting a lot of climate change stuff right now on their stories, and I kind of call bullshit. In my opinion, I'm like, I actually don't even, as much as I agree with this, I don't even see this as a climate change problem. But I suspect it's arson. That's why I'm like, obviously, I don't know.
Even if it was arson, if it weren't for the Santa Ana winds and for the dryness of California, like maybe like a building burned down or something.
Sure.
But it has exponentially.
There's a term for it too. Babe, what was the word you used for fires that carry across large
conflagration?
She used a word the other day. I was like, I've never heard that term before, but it was like a seed of a fire can travel very far, basically. I didn't know that. But basically a kindling can transfer from a canyon to a residential neighborhood invisibly. And as long as there's some sort of tinder to like light it, then it'll start a fire. I had no idea. It's like an invisible.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't know it. It's like cancer, like invisible, just transferring through the wind, and it just lands on an old leaf, and that old leaf is attached to, an old mine with dynamite in it, and then that old mine erupts, and then a dog lights on fire, and it runs into a gasoline factory, and then anyway.
I think we're discounting God's wrath. So I just want to say,
says the guy who doesn't want to pray. Interesting. So I call bullshit on recyclable Japanese plastic, and I call because on the LA fires. But
it's all bullshit.
Respectfully, because a good friend of mine from college lost his house, which is insane.
Yeah,
because he literally lost everything. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
For our listeners out there, if you know anyone affected from the fires, our hearts go out to them, and to those whom we don't know. Please, there's so many GoFundMe's for all these households who've lost everything, and let's be honest, there's going to be thousands of them popping up over the next few weeks. If you have the wherewithal to donate even $5 to these families, it would mean a lot to them, I'm sure. And lastly. Oh, I guess that's it, actually. Yeah. Do we have anything else?
I think we've
exhausted.
This is the Shark Says Next.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for tuning to this episode of The Side Dish Podcast. Please catch us on Instagram @_The Side Dish. Like and subscribe. Forward this episode to your best friend or your worst enemy. And with that said, we'll catch you in the next episode.
Peace, guys.